Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series, Custom 7v7 Pro Action this afternoon. Exciting stuff as always. First of all, hello and welcome to the newest subscribers. Fantastic to have you on board. There's been a little bit of a bump in subscriber count lately. Always appreciate that. So in order that you should feel at home, I'd like to give a quick welcome and a quick explanation as to what it is you're actually looking at. Many of you might not know, but the game is Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, not Supreme Commander 2. If you're thinking about picking it up, please don't make that mistake. It's Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, and the best news is it's currently on sale in the Steam Autumn Sale as we currently speak. It is down to about £1.79. I'm imagining that'll probably be about $2 or $2.50 over in the US, assuming it's also in the sale in the US, which I would be puzzled if it wasn't, but nonetheless, that is an absolute bargain for literally hundreds, if not thousands, of potential hours of awesome multiplayer mayhem. Although, once you have the game installed on Steam, guys, you will have to download the Forged Alliance Forever multiplayer client, and you can find a link to that in the description below this and each and every one of my videos. Go to faforever.com if you can't be bothered to check that, and just follow download instructions. That'll allow you to come play with us, chat with us, catch our free replay vaults, mod vaults, map vaults, as I say, all free of charge once you've made the initial outlay for the game. You can't say fairer than that. Alright, that's enough of that. On to today's game. As we said, Custom 7v7, and it's going down on Adaptive Diversity. Exciting stuff. I'm ready! You guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready, so let's go on over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. Ching. Ka-ching. Oh, no instant loading. That makes me sad in my pants. Where is it? There it is. Amazing. And we're not going to start again because I can't be bothered. We'll call this Team 1 over here on the left. Excuse me. And we'll call this Team 1 over here on the right. Going first for Team 1 up here at the top left. No one cares, well, except for us, of course. Here he is. He's going UEF in Halliborange Orange, opening first land. Team member number 2 right next to him. It's Limitless, our first spiky space socialist of the day, going Cybrin in I almost said lime green, but it's not. It's lurid green, isn't it? Lurid green, Aeon green, whatever you want to call it, opening first land. Team member number 3 over here on this little plateau here, we've got Moxnat. He's going Seraphim, opening first land. Team member number 4 right next to him, the one, the only Blast Chilled. He's going Aeon, opening first land, second air in Elephantine Grey. Team member number 5 in Baby Blue right next to him, another Aeon. This time it's no fear, but he knows the fear. It's not no fear, it's that he knows fear, and apparently he knows it 555 times. Anyway, he's going first land. Team member number 6 next to him down here at the bottom, it's Milfgard. It's like Asgard, but for MILFs. And he's going, no, not lurid. We've already had lurid green. He's going combat green. Look at me stumbling over my own colours. Unreal. That's what happens when you have a 2-week break due to tonsillitis and a head cold. No excuses, thank you, Guile. Get on with it. With pleasure. He's opening first land. And last but not least, for Team 1 in electric blue, I want to die. Please don't do it. Think of the children. He's opening first land and going Seraphim. So that's Team 1. Let's check out Team 2, and let's slow it down before things start getting a bit too real, and I haven't even got through the introductions yet. First for Team 1, up here at the top right, it's Okpuk. He's going Cybrin in Burgundy Red, opening first land. Below him, he's renamed his com to Purple Guy, but that is, of course, the one, the only, the wheelie. You will know him better from previous games, of course, as Farm Schlett. There he is. He's left his base, but he's going his classic quintessential purple, going Seraphim, opening first land. Team member number 3 over here for Team 2, it's Wesh, another Cybrin in classic Cybrin colours, going Ferrari Red, opening first land. Next up below him, in mellow yellow, it's Wi-Fi, another UEF. He's going first land. Stomping his way to the middle over here, it's the king of innuendo. It's Bigger Hammer. There he is, and he's going UEF in Cyanide Cyan, and he opened first land. 2 left to go, first one of which is Eco King. He's going UEF in Baby Pink, opening first and second land. And last but not least, on his way towards the pond, it's Valone, going Breast Cancer Awareness Pink, going Aeon, and going first, second land, followed by third air in this neat little section of templates there of T1 P-Gens, just begging for a factory to be slotted into. Game quality at 93%. We're pretty happy with that as far as balance goes. What have we got in terms of differentials in player talent? Well, highest rated player, unsurprisingly, is the Wheelie at 2,500. There he is. He's the man to beat, the one that's the Team 1 will be quaking in their boots in front of. They'll be worried about. They want to get him out of the game ASAP. Highest rated players on Team 1, meanwhile, are Milfgard and I Want to Die. They're both 2,100 rated. And then we've got a few 1,600s there. 2 on Team 2, that's Eco King and Bigger Hammer, and 1 on Team 1, that's Moxnat. Everybody else lining the space in between. Lots of chatter going on early doors between the players. Look at Farms getting all the way out here. Looks like he might potentially be moving on in towards that mass field over here, and indeed he is. He's already queued up a bajillion reclaim commands. And if we press the right button, you can see there's a lot of mass to be garnered here. There's a 389, another 389, a 292, some more 389s down here. We do already have a couple of engineers showing up, though, from Blast Shield. They're about to have a rude awakening, though, as Farms turns up with his comm. That's a lot of extra mass for his team and, of course, himself, should he be able to hold the field, which I fully expect him to be able to do. Poor old Dom and Tristan there, out on a little reclaim mission. They won't be writing any more letters home to Mama. And she was getting so attached to them as well. Very sad stuff. Limitless leaving his base and completely ignoring the fact that Farms is nearby to the south, but instead focusing on the rocks that are lining the pond here. Lots more mass to be harvested there as well. But this is very ballsy play, but you would expect it from Farms. He's not going to hang about. He's not going to be intimidated by these other players when they're so much lower in rating than him. He's snagged a couple of the big ones. There's still some other big juicy bits left on the field. He's going to get that wreck of a stealth gen and deny yet more mass to Team 1 before he evacs. Look at that. Let's have a look at what he's got so far. He's pulled in 7.7k. That does match Milfgard as the highest on the ground. It'll be a while, though, before he scoops up anything else with the comm. I'm wondering if he's got other engineers kicking about. We have a little bit of base harass, meanwhile, going on the eastern side of the map. Moxnat harassing Wesh's base. Things all kicking off all over the place now as players expand out of their main bases in towards the middle of the map. We've got gun upgrade on the way down here for No Fear. We've got a tactical missile upgrade on the way for No One Cares, who's already completed the T2 upgrade, and I'm assuming he used that on board that commander to get that fusion reactor up and in place, and that's what's allowed him the power latitude, if that makes sense, to get this tac missile upgrade going. It's floating enough power just about to keep that functional, using up all of the mass reserves that he's got. It'll be a little while before that completes. Actually, no, that's flying pretty nicely. It's up to 78 to 80% as we speak. Could potentially be launching tac missile attacks over here at Team 2 in the not too distant future. Few Mantis harassing a lowly Tham belonging to Farms, who turns his comm around and repays the favor. Gonna blap one or two of those. Limitless, though, nearby with his commander. Both of these comms unupgraded. What have we got down here? T2 upgrade on the way for Bigger Hammer. He wants a Bigger Hammer, clearly. A Bigger Hammer still. Valone also getting an upgrade, but he's going for gun. 20% done there. I Want to Die also getting something, but we're not being helped out by the notification mod. See exactly what it is that he's building, and we still are none the wiser. Gun upgrade completed there for I Want to Die in pretty reasonable time, it has to be said, and that will come in handy considering Eco King has crossed the threshold now and is engaging Milfgard. Wi-Fi also coming in behind him. Eco King has Zephamp gun upgrade and nano repair on board that commando. Wi-Fi, meanwhile, unupgraded so far. I Want to Die locks on to Eco King, who's already down into the yellow, now going 2v1. Milfgard also has an upgraded gun on his UEF commander. Eco King now dropping down towards 25%. He will make it towards the water, but will be badly damaged and deep into the red. So he will be out of the game for some time while he repairs up. Wi-Fi didn't take an awful lot of fire in that before he ducks under the safety of the water. Goodness me, though. It's all kicking off very, very early doors in this one. Little trickle of Aurora spam coming across the bottom pond there, belonging to Valone. But that's now running into some T2 ground weaponry in the form of these Ilshivers here for I Want to Die. And those tinfoil Auroras will be absolutely no match for those. They're going to have to bug out back onto the safety of the water where those Ilshivers can't follow. Limitless turning around and heading back, despite what his name suggests. I wouldn't be pushing any further forward than that, not up against farms who just wanted to stroll forward and grab control of that mechs. How are we looking at general eco-wise? Well, Team 2 has had a better run of it overall. It's 123k to 117 in favor of Team 2. For the newbies out there, that includes generated mass, the mass you get from the mass points and from other potential structures. Not that they'll have had a chance to build any of those other structures yet, but also from commanders and support commanders that generate their own mass, but it also includes the reclaim, the mass that you suck up off the ground. So it's a good indicator of who's ahead early on in terms of harvested mass. It becomes a little bit harder to read later on when players get ejected and mass from bases is recycled because it gets counted twice. Milfgard harassing Eco King just a little bit before backing up. He's got some parashields back here, so he has a little bit of a mobile defensive point to back up to if he's in trouble. Attack missile battery over here on the cliff edge, just missing Milfgard there. Huge amounts of potential damage when they connect to a commander. Eco King has repped up nicely thanks to that nano repair upgrade on board the comm. Good thing for him that he chose that after getting absolutely wrecked in that early engage. What's happening up here at the top? So you can see Okpuk investing in Navy and has already a Salem-class destroyer out. And that's firing inland at defensive emplacements belonging to no one cares. Handy fact that he went Cybrin as well. That destroyer, of course, can sprout legs and go for a wander on the beach if it so desires. No discussions about how disgustingly OP. It's not OP, it's just a feature of communism. Eco King under fire. Once again gets a nice rank in veterancy though that restores a chunk of his health, and then ducks under a parashield to evade some more incoming fire. Milfgard has lost some of his shield protection down here, still has a decent contingent of T1 and T2 spam though to back him up. No fear further to the north, he's at about 50% health. Taking the opportunity though to overcharge some of the defensive emplacements up here belonging to Bigger Hammer. Bigger Hammer, who has both the T2 engineering suite and the gun upgrade, affording himself a decent amount of firepower and extra base hit points. Oh, where was that? Has it been shot down already? I swear I thought I heard a strap bomber. No, there it goes again, and it's down here. courtesy of Moxnat. Can he get another bomb away before he gets shot down? No, he can't. Didn't get a chance to read how many kills he had gotten. Looks like he might have bagged 3 mass extractors in the backfield down here. 2 against Valone and 1 potentially against Bigger Hammer. That looks like that's a commander-based TAC missile going after the HQ, the air HQ there, belonging to Limitless. Where did that come from? Was that from... Yes, it was. It was from Farms. You can see him loading another missile, launching it out of the sea. Can't believe how quickly these guys have got their upgrades together. This time the tactical missile defense is ready for it. Limitless getting some more shield coverage up to defend against more impending attacks. Okpuk, meanwhile, has brought his comm out of the water over here and is going up against No One Cares, but No One Cares has engineering suite gun upgrade and TAC missile launcher and is now currently working on some clink hammers over here to defend against these destroyers. That one has taken a battering. It's only got 50 hit points left. Sprouted legs for a moment and then retracted them and then sprouted them again. This is what happens when a Cybran gets low on health. It just loses all sense of decision making. He's like, no, I will go onto the beach. I suspect that in real life that would have serious pressure issues walking on sand with those pointy legs. We're not here to test the laws of physics, though, in reality, of course. Farms with 20 kills on board his commander. Still content to sit there launching TAC missiles against Limitless. And it seems to be working, in all fairness. Zappa back here, saving the factories from another missile attack. But it's not protecting at all against this cruiser fire over here. Okpuk looking very dangerous in this top pond. Similar situation, but in reverse down here. Valone firmly in charge of this bottom pond. Still, though, yet to get any T2 naval pressure in play and brought to bear against I Want to Die's base. That should be a priority, but he's not working on it as yet. No One Cares bringing his comm to bear now against Okpuk, who's trying to recycle the mass from his destroyer, which he just lost on the beach there. He got most of it, got about 3/4 of it. No One Cares was able to scoop the rest. 15 minutes down, everybody's still in play, and it has to be said, a pretty even game so far. But Team 2 in charge of both ponds, as we mentioned earlier. I Want to Die trying to hold back the Aurora spam that's coming off the water here. Got a little bit of help from Milfgard. Now would be the opportunity for him to build a naval yard and try and hit back against this. But I Want to Die, what's he producing right now? Generated eco. He's at 59. Limitless has taken a battering. He's short stacking at a woeful 27 mass per tick. Currently desperately trying to upgrade his mass extractors to get on top of that resource situation. But he's losing mass extractors, core mass at that, to those TAC missile strikes from Farmschlet, who's now up to 41 kills on board that commander. Team 1 really have to take this guy out, otherwise they are going to be facing an uphill battle the longer this game goes on, I think. Bigger Hammer setting up a nice little fire base over here, complete with wall sections, and going straight for a Ravager. He's now got the T3 engineering suite on board that commander. That's 1,500 base hit points on that comm now. And this will present a strategic problem down here if this base is allowed to expand and thrive. That's probably why No Fear is advancing. He knows that too, would love to shut it down. Has got himself an Absolver Shield Disruptor here. That ought to help in taking down this position if he really commits to it. But the Ravager is online and it opens up against No Fear. No Fear has the personal shield. That's an extra 8,000 hit points on top of the 13,200 HP he's got on board that commander. But it doesn't last long against Ravager fire, down to about 50% health already on board that shield. Blast shield coming in for support though from the north, keeping the micro going. Facing off against this T1 spam that's trying to run interference and protect the base over here from inbound fire, trying to give that Ravager enough time to get its work done and shoo that commander away. But look at the pressure that's being brought to bear up here. Limitless forced now to rebuild and re-upgrade his mexes. He's still on just 29 mass per tick. No one cares now short stacking. He's on 25. It's wonderful harassment work that's gone down from Okpak and Farms now bringing it to bear against Moxnat's position over here with a little forward contingent of T2 spam. That's a T2 Mex that gets taken out on the front line. And Moxnat going to be setting up some point defense on the ridge here. That's a nice firing position to harass this little Vanguard, although it looks like he's having major problems hitting those Zuis when they're moving laterally like that. Not such an issue when they move in to engage, however. And look at that, siege tanks turn up. Zuis ain't no match for those. They get eviscerated. T2 shield down, but T3 nearly done in its place. A little bit of inbound fire from somewhere. I don't know where that came from. Unit must have been destroyed. And there it is. Bigger Hammer now looking pretty comfortable down here. Getting himself a T2 shield to cover the T3 when the T3 collapses. And there we have it, almost at 20 minutes, and it feels like the early game mayhem that we always get in these large, multiple player games is starting to subside. We're getting a little bit of normalcy as players tech up, eco up, and work out what their long-term strategy is going to be. Personal shield on the way for Eco King. Still looking to use his commander offensively by the looks of things. Valone, fully starred, 5-star commander, 54 kills on board. Heading back towards the water with a little bit of drainage there on his shield. Oh, but look at that. Didn't get a chance to finish the T2 shield, and the T3 has been depleted. It pops back up again, but Bigger Hammer looking like he might be positioning himself to withdraw slightly here, despite having assistance from 3 support commanders from Wesh here in the center. But the pressure at the top of the map has definitely relented. Okpak and Farms not pressing so hard. He's still launching his commander-based TAC missiles at the enemy. But he's not sending any more hit squads in to harass. And he's definitely dropped back a ways. Just looking for easy targets, and that's one right there. T2 Mex taken out once again. Engineer not having long rebuilt it. Ethota on the way for Moxnat as we see the first of the experimentals under construction. A hint that the late game isn't too far away. Quantum Gateway on the way for Farms, and just look how quickly he spams that up. Virtually no time at all. Wonder if he'll be going double gateway to maximize support commander production, and a control K of his own factories there from Okpuk, who wants the mass to funnel into Tech 3 mass extractor production. Guess he's relying solely for the time being on naval unit production, and as we said, using those resources to drastically improve his eco production. Tech 3 upgrade on the way for Milfgard. What have we got here? A Colossus under construction as well in the backfield there for No Fear 555. So potentially Team 1 going to be the first to see some experimentals hit the field. They're going to have to really make them pay though. Big investments, and you can see they are trailing by over 100k in total mass accrued now. Team 2 almost at 660k versus the 545k of Team 1. That is a massive deficit, and if they don't make those experimentals or indeed something else count really soon, I can't see any way around this for Team 1. They're going to get well and truly squashed the longer this game goes on. We'll see if they can turn it around though. Notha fighter bombers circling up here for Farms as he looks for a potential attack vector. A veritable no man's land appearing right down the center of the map though. And Bigger Hammer with this little base, and now with it being expanded on by Wesh as well, with a very juicy artillery battery going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Gunthers planned on that little installation alone. He's got another 3 further back here, and that will have, I'm sure, contributed to the wide berth that Team 1 have given these southern positions of Team 2. And there is the Ethota, wasting no time, immediately gets underway. Where is he heading with that? Well, surprise, surprise, he's planning an attack on Farms. I couldn't say better myself. I think that is the way to go. Farms, by far and away, the biggest threat to Team 1. If they can get him out of the picture, anything is possible. Takes a while to get over there, though. What do Team 2 have in the way of defensive measures? This mass fab farm going up. There's not an awful lot. We do have some sniper bots. This could be useful if you can keep those at range. They'll be able to engage that Ethota. Woo! But a Billy nuke out from somebody on Team 1. It won't be No Fear. He's not new EF. Where is UEF? Who have we got? Milfgard, and there it is. Tactical Commander Nuke. And that takes out all of the new Gunthers that were sitting just outside of Bigger Hammer's shield there. They might have to rethink their strategy on that fire base. It's going to be hard to repel constant Billy nukes. Certainly could do with getting some tactical missile defense up and running. The next one going straight in against Eco King's base, but we've got some buzz kills going up in a number of different locations in direct anticipation of that. I don't think that nuke's getting through. No, it isn't. Ethota engaging up here, but he's already taken a battering. Look at all of this inbound fire from different locations. Multiple attack vectors. In come the broadsides. And that is enough of him. Wow, he did not last long at all. That's a real shame. Where's that Colossus? Well, that's not that one. That's been building for some time. It would have been better if he could have synced up with the Colossus and maybe double teams down here, but they had to give it a go, I guess, and hope that they could inflict some damage. Next Billy Nuke launched up towards farms. Impacts either on or just outside the shield. Colossus depletes the shield down here, takes down the Ravagers. There are still several triads in operation, but the first experimental we've seen from Team 2 shows up. A hastily constructed Monkey Lord for quick base defense. No harm or shame in that. Those broadswords we saw engage the Ithota, sent towards the south after the Colossus, but Flak scares those two away. Wise move on that capitulation there, but check out the battleship. Galaxy-class battleship in the top pond now, launching its ordnance in towards No One Cares' shielded base position. How heavily shielded is it? The answer is not very. It's a couple of T2. Another one pops up just in time. He has got cruisers over here which he could bring to bear and then retreat. He's worried about artillery counterfire. We have a couple of clink hammers under shield coverage over here, which is why those cruisers are situated so far back. But the next battleship is ready, and that really will be too much for those Tech 2 shields to bear, I'm sure of it. Another Billy Nuke sent against farms. His front line holding, though, for the time being. We had an incursion of Percivals from Nilfgaard. Looks like they've trekked across here, but they're being shadowed by an even larger force of Percivals from Eco King. So I'm guessing they didn't feel like making landfall over here. Probably dissuaded by this line of T1 PD as well that's just popped up on the shoreline there. Ooh, a defensive Billy Nuke going after those pink Percies over on the bottom. Are the defensive or the defender units out of collateral damage range? Oh, look at those cruisers turn up with their tactical missile defense to deny that tactical nuke. Ouch, that's got a sting. That was some kills there, potentially on the vessels, and would have done a decent amount of damage to the Percivals for sure. But no such luck. And in return, those green Percies there of Nilfgaard are going to get a right royal spanking. New Percies showing up, though, from the north. But only stick around for a brief exchange. Let's check back in on the situation up at the top. And the situation is, if you're a fan of Team 1 and rooting for them, well, it's dire, frankly. There's no way he's going to be able to repel firepower of that magnitude. Those two battleships, I'm surprised those cruisers aren't in range. They are just about outside of range there. They could probably maybe get something a little bit further down. Certainly with ground fire they could impact the shield and help create an opening for the battleships. Engineers valiantly trying to combat this battleship spam, but the longer this goes on, the worse it seems to get. Team 2 now at 1.3 million mass, and Team 1 on 984,000. The direct combat between these two teams in no man's land has fallen off a cliff, and it is now very much a case of range tactics as and where is possible. Monkey Lord from Wesh crosses over and is now finding himself being very slowly reclaimed by one support commander down here from I Want to Die. He is going to back up away from that, though, as he's now taking sub fire from these T1 subs of Valone. Another Billy Nuke impact over here, but look at the ground forces. In fact, that's two back-to-back Billy Nukes, so we've got two UEF commanders packing the TAC nuke down here for Team 1. We've got a megalith on the field, but most importantly, a ground force pushing the top left corner against Team 1 under cover fire from the battleships. Some riptides that were no doubt constructed in the hope of combating these naval vessels up here are being forced to engage support commanders now, and that's generally not going to go too well. These support commandos with advanced combatant preset, the Rambo preset if you will, and I'm pretty sure that gives them overcharge capability. Yes it does, and oh dear me, no one cares. Caught napping outside his shield gen. Not that it's an upgraded shield or anything that's going to offer really good protection. He fires his Billy Nuke. Will it do much? No, it really won't. A couple more shots like that, or volleys, and he will be down and out. And the first to be ejected, incidentally, in what has been an absolutely tantalizing game. Very, very close indeed. But down he goes at 31 minutes and 15 seconds. No one cares. The first to be ejected, and it's down and out by the wheelie, who still has 5 support commanders on the ground and shows no sign of relenting. He's not going to push further, I guess. He's going to push against the northern structures up here. That did belong to No One Cares, but unfortunately full share seems to be on, so somewhere a ferry has expired due to terminal halitosis. What a way to go. For the newcomers that don't understand, full share on team games makes Guile cry, and so poor ferries have to pay the price with their lives in some excruciating manner whenever the players selected in their game lobbies. Sad times indeed. And finally that Monkey Lord emerges from the water in pursuit now of a few handfuls of Percivals on the beach, making a run for it, but turning and then engaging. The microwave laser opens up. Look at that monstrous volley though from the Percies. It's going to be a pretty even exchange, especially with the assistance of the Fat Boy firing from the other coast. But this is looking really bad. Okpuk and Farms in full control of the top left corner now, and advancing on the main base of Moxnat, where Limitless is currently holding out as well. Not sure where Limitless' base was previously, but he seems to be little more than a refugee at this point. Monkey Lord advancing on this position. There's not a great deal in place to stall it. Moxnat's got a beefy comm. He's got advanced nano repair on board. Oh, I beg your pardon. There is a GC in play belonging to No Fear. A fresh one at that. Engineers down here working on some point defense for Blast Chilled. But this is full turtle mode. Now a bad position to be in. Team 2 yielding nothing, taking everything. And now we've got experimentals rolling in from multiple positions.
Strategic launch detected.
And there's a strategic nuke. Moxnat gets himself locked onto by the Monkey Lord. The cliff edge playing havoc with his targeting systems though. Time to make a run for it. GC for the time being focusing in on the support commanders. He reacquires a new target in the Monkey Lord. The inbound nuke, where's it going? It's skirting whatever strategic missile defense there might be. It is going to land. It's going to take out a bunch of structures. Is Milfgard safe? Yes, he is. That's more than can be said for Moxnat, who's now been locked onto by the Monkey Lord. Oh, but a lovely overcharge there by Rambo preset support commanders from I Want to Die. Team 1 hanging in this by the skin of their teeth. Moxnat down to 14,000 hit points. It looks like a lot less, but he's got 43,000 hit points on board that commander thanks to upgrades. That Ethota experimental of farms reaches the front door of Moxnat's base and sets off a chain reaction in the mass fabricator farms on the cliff edge there. ASF's landed in a terrible position. Lots of free kills and veterancy for that experimental. Down here, the Fat Boy in retreat in the face of that inbound Colossus. Safe under the water though for the time being. Teleporter on the way for Limitless in typical Cybran cowardly fashion. No judgment here. Oh, you could be fooling. You could be fooling. You could be fooled to think otherwise by my tone. Ethota under shield coverage locks onto Moxnat, who very bravely steps out at the head of his forces to engage the Ethota. Wonderful circular micro. Keeps him alive for a little bit, but it'll only keep you alive for so long until that happens. Oh, and just as a GC turns up from the south as well. But really, it's all moot at this point. Limitless under pressure now. Can they take down that Ethota before he goes down? Yes, they can. But he's very, very close to the impending Iron Storm. He needs to get out of there before it locks onto his comm. Just 1,600 hit points left. Blast chilled now. Feeling the wrath. Personal shield saving him a bit, but oh no! That shows just how much damage that Iron Storm can unleash if you're the only target for it to lock onto in that area. Oh, and look. Azar inbound, incinerating everything underneath as it goes. What a spectacular collapse this has been from Team 1, who did hold on beautifully and actually made a very, very close game of it throughout. But they never got a handle on the eco deficit. Team 2 were just too far ahead throughout the entire game. That Tsar under construction at about 3/4 done. The Tsar from Team 2 falls out of the sky, lands on top of I Want to Die, but doesn't land flushly. He's lucky there, and he takes partial damage. And it wasn't actually 3/4 done, it was just badly damaged. It was very nearly complete now. Can they get anything done with this? I suspect probably not. This is far too late. So much inbound fire. Oh, and look, there's a Scathis. A Scathis in the backfield by Wesh. Well, if all the other weaponry doesn't do it, that certainly will. Down goes the Donut, taken out by good defensive play from Wi-Fi and his massive horde of ASFs. Wheelie kills off Limitless up at the top of the screen in an encounter that we didn't really need to see, so it's a good thing we didn't. What an enormous collapse, and this looks like it's going to be a clean sheet win for Team 2. It's been a while since we had one of those. I do often shy away from selecting them because so often the clean sheet wins are games that are not at all competitive. I feel that this one was competitive. At least it got a decent amount of game time out of it, but Team 1 never got a handle on the eco situation, and when the time came to it, when it all kicked off, Team 2 just rolled them royally. Inbound Bug shows up to defend one support commander of Farms. He's probably going to get taken out in the ensuing collateral explosions. moves on to the gateway, and this huge battery of artillery in the backfield belonging to No Fear. Sorry, no, I Want to Die. It's all going to get transferred over to No Fear now, though, who is the last remaining player in this game. Where is his commander? There it is. Team 2 happy to toy with them at this point. But that looks like a bunch of Novak satellites converging on his position. They're going to open up on the comm. Yes, indeedly do. Completely without protection now. 3 Novak satellites. Who's going to score the kill? That's the last question that remains. In comes a couple of strap bombers, but it looks like they dropped short going after the support commanders instead. In fact, the bugs are going after the support commanders as well. It's like my cat playing with the mouse that's hiding under the fridge, stringing it out for as long as possible. But finally, the last player on Team 1 goes down. Stellar work from Team 2. MVP, I think, has to be the wheelie, maybe. Arguably him or Okpuk. The breakthrough at the top of the screen was what really forced the capitulation from Team 1. That's what set off the domino effect. Taking nothing away from everybody else, though. It was a well-played game on everybody's part. I hope you enjoy it, guys, or enjoyed it. More to come from me in the future. Don't forget the Patreon. It's a great way to support me, guys. It really does make a world of difference. I try to get a new cast every week. We've had a break of a week or two, though, just like the YouTube channel. I've been, unfortunately, double dolloped with a dose of tonsillitis and a dirty streaming cold on top of it. Not COVID, I promise, but I'm pretty much out of that now. So more content coming this week to the Patreon as well. It's a mere $1 a month, guys. Do please check that out. The support is integral to my well-being. Anyway, thank you for today once again, and until next time, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.